You've clicked because somewhere deep down, you're tired of feeling thrown around by life's storms. One moment you're fine, the next you're pulled into anger, anxiety, or frustration, like a small boat caught in violent waves. You want to be steady, composed, unshakable. I understand that feeling. I've been there myself, reacting too quickly, saying things I wish I hadn't, letting stress control my days. But I've also found something different, a way to stay calm, even when the world feels anything but calm, a way to carry a quiet strength inside you, so that no matter what chaos swirls around, you're still standing tall. The Stoics understood this well. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." And in those words lies a simple truth. Calm is not given to you by the world, it's built by you. In this video, I'm going to share 8 Stoic strategies that can help you become that person, someone who moves through life without being easily disturbed. We'll talk about mastering the pause before reacting, letting go of other people's opinions, and finding peace with change, not as abstract philosophy, but as practical tools you can live by, starting today. And if you want to keep building this kind of inner strength, I'd invite you to subscribe to the channel. Here, we explore timeless wisdom, modern reflections, and real ways to live a grounded, meaningful life. So, take a deep breath. Let's step into the stillness together and discover how to be chill and stoic, no matter what the world throws your way. Chapter 1. Master the pause before you act. You feel it rising, that spark of irritation, or the pull of anxiety, or the rush of excitement that makes you want to act right now. It's fast, almost instant. Something happens, someone says something sharp, or a plan suddenly changes, or an unexpected problem lands in your lap. And before you even realize it, your body is already leaning into a reaction. This is where most people lose control, because in that split second, they move without thinking. They speak without choosing their words. They decide without seeing the whole picture, and often they regret it later. But here's the thing. You don't have to live like that. You can reclaim those few precious seconds between the stimulus and your response. You can learn to pause. Epictetus said, "If someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation." What does that mean? It means the trigger doesn't have to control you. It means you can interrupt the chain reaction before it takes over. I remember the first time I really practiced this. I was in a conversation where the other person was clearly trying to push my buttons. My instinct was to fire back with something equally sharp. But instead, I stopped. Literally, I took one breath, then another, and in that pause, something shifted. The anger I felt wasn't gone, but it wasn't driving me anymore. I could see the situation more clearly. I could choose my next move, not just react. It's like standing on the edge of a rushing river. Most people jump straight into the current and get swept away, but the Stoic steps back for a moment, watches the flow, and chooses the safest, wisest way to cross. Here's the practical side. When something triggers you, pause. Even if it's just for 2 seconds, give yourself that breathing space. You might count to 3. You might physically slow down your body, or you might picture yourself as an outside observer watching the scene unfold without rushing to take a side. Why does this work? Because emotions are like waves. They crash hard at first, but if you give them a moment, they start to settle. If you react at the peak of that wave, you'll almost always make a choice you'll want to take back. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." In other words, don't let someone else's chaos dictate your state of mind. The pause gives you the power to stay aligned with your own values, instead of mirroring whatever energy just came your way. Of course, mastering the pause isn't easy. It's like building a muscle. You won't be perfect at first. Some days you'll still react before thinking, but the more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Soon, the pause isn't something you try to do. It's just part of how you move through life. One simple technique I use is to turn every emotional spike into a cue for stillness. If my heart rate rises or my mind starts racing, I treat it like a signal. Pause now, and in that pause, I ask one question. Will this matter in a week? Sometimes the answer is no, and that's enough to let it go. Sometimes the answer is yes, and the pause gives me the clarity to respond thoughtfully. Think of it like a camera lens. If you snap a picture while the lens is out of focus, you get a blurry mess. But if you take a second to adjust, the image sharpens. That's what pausing does for your life. It brings your perception into focus before you take action. You might wonder, but what if I miss my chance to act? In truth, most situations aren't as urgent as they feel in the moment. That pause isn't losing time, it's making time by preventing the need to fix mistakes made in haste. So, how do you start? Here's a simple exercise. Tomorrow, choose one moment to intentionally delay your response. It could be in conversation, in replying to an email, or in deciding whether to buy something. Notice how it feels. You might feel uncomfortable at first, like you're holding back. But in that space, you'll also notice you can think. You can choose words that align with your principles, instead of words that just vent your emotions. And over time, you'll start to see the difference between reacting and responding. Reacting is letting the world control you. Responding is you controlling yourself. The Stoics knew this control was freedom. Freedom from regret, from unnecessary conflict, from the mental clutter that comes from saying or doing things you didn't really mean. So the next time life tries to pull you into its storm, remember, you don't have to jump in. You can stand on the shore, breathe, and decide how, when, and if you'll step in at all. Because the chill and stoic life isn't about having no emotions. It's about giving those emotions room to breathe so they don't end up breathing for you. Chapter 2. Detach from the opinion of others. You know that feeling when someone's words stay with you far longer than they should. Maybe it's a subtle jab, a sarcastic remark, or even praise that feels a little too conditional. You replay it in your mind, wondering if you should have responded differently, wondering what they really meant. And before you know it, your peace of mind is in someone else's hands. The Stoics saw this trap clearly. Epictetus reminded us, if you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. It's not that they wanted you to invite insult, but that your well-being shouldn't rise and fall based on what others think. Because here's the truth. Most people aren't actually thinking about you as much as you think they are. Their opinions are shaped by their own biases, insecurities, and limited perspectives. And yet, how often do we hand them the keys to our emotions? I used to care deeply about what people thought of me. A frown from someone could ruin my day. A compliment could make me feel like I was finally enough. But both were chains. Because if you depend on praise to feel good, you'll also crumble under criticism. It's like standing on a dock, waiting for the tide to lift your boat. One moment it rises, the next it falls, and you never actually control the tide. The Stoic way is different. It's building your boat on solid ground, so it stays steady no matter how the water moves. This doesn't mean you become arrogant or stop listening to feedback. It means you learn to filter. When someone offers criticism, ask yourself, is this useful to me? If yes, take the lesson. If no, let it pass like a leaf floating down a stream. The same goes for praise. You can accept it with gratitude, but don't anchor your self-worth to it. If someone calls you brilliant, it doesn't suddenly make you brilliant. If someone calls you foolish, it doesn't suddenly make you foolish. You are still who you are, Marcus Aurelius wrote. I have often wondered how it is that every man loves himself more than all the rest of men, yet sets less value on his own opinion of himself than on the opinion of others. Think about that for a second. We live inside our own minds, yet we let the passing thoughts of strangers matter more than our own inner judgment. So, how do you start detaching? First, get clear on your own values. If you know what you stand for, you can measure yourself against that, not against the shifting opinions of the crowd. If honesty is one of your values, and you spoke the truth, even if it was unpopular, then you stayed aligned with yourself, and that's what matters. Second, practice mental distancing. When you hear an opinion about you, good or bad, imagine it as a sound traveling through the air. It's not inside you, it's just passing by. You can notice it without grabbing onto it. Third, remember the source. Ask yourself, does this person truly know me? If not, why give their opinion more weight than it deserves? I once received a harsh comment online from someone I'd never met. My first instinct was to feel hurt, but then I paused. This person knew only a fraction of me, just what they saw on a screen. Their opinion was like a sketch drawn from memory, vague, incomplete, and not truly about me. In that moment, I realized I didn't need to carry it. The metaphor I hold on to is this. Imagine your mind as a garden. The opinions of others are seeds tossed over the fence. Some might be flowers, but many are weeds. You get to choose which ones to plant. When you detach from others' opinions, you free yourself from the constant push and pull of external validation. You stop dressing your soul for someone else's weather, and instead you wear what keeps you grounded, no matter the forecast. And here's the deeper piece. When you no longer depend on approval, you can be honest, fully honest. You can make choices that align with your principles, even when they're unpopular. You can say no when it matters. You can stand still when everyone else is rushing. And you can speak truth without softening it just to be liked. It's not about being cold or indifferent. It's about choosing who holds the power to shape your emotions. And the Stoics would tell you, the answer should be you. So, the next time someone praises you or criticizes you, pause. Accept what is useful, release the rest. And remember, your peace is worth far more than someone else's passing judgment. Because the chill, stoic way is to know your worth without needing it stamped by anyone else. Chapter 3. Focus only on what you can control. There's a moment when you realize most of what you stress about is completely outside your control. The weather, the economy, other people's decisions, their moods, their words. Yet, how much of your mental energy gets poured into these things every single day? The Stoics were clear about this. Epictetus said, "Some things are in our control and others not." It sounds simple, almost too simple, but this one distinction can transform your entire life. Because here's what happens when you ignore it. You spend your days trying to push the ocean back with your hands. You get exhausted, bitter, frustrated, and no matter how hard you try, the tide keeps coming in. But when you live by it, you stop trying to move the ocean and you learn to sail with it. For me, this lesson was humbling. There was a time when I'd get consumed by the behavior of others, why they acted a certain way, why they didn't see things the way I did, why they didn't do the right thing. I thought, if I just argued better, explained longer, or tried harder, I could change them. I couldn't. And the more I tried, the more I suffered. One day I sat with a journal and made 2 lists. On one side, things within my control. On the other, things outside it. Within my control, my choices, my words, my effort, my attitude. Outside my control, everything else. That clarity was like cutting chains. When you focus only on what you can control, you reclaim energy. You stop spinning in circles over things that will never bend to your will. You start investing that energy into actions that actually make a difference. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Notice he doesn't say you'll find comfort or ease. He says strength. Because accepting this truth is hard. It forces you to let go of control you never really had, and that can feel like losing something. But here's the paradox. When you stop grasping for control where you have none, you feel more in control than ever before. Imagine this. You're steering a boat in open water. A storm is brewing. You can't control the wind. You can't control the waves. But you can control your sails, your rudder, your course. Most people waste energy cursing the wind. The Stoic trims the sails and moves forward. This isn't about apathy. It's about strategic living. It's about choosing your battles with precision. Think of how often we waste our mornings reading the news, raging at politicians we'll never meet, worrying about events we can't influence. It doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop letting those things own your emotional state. Here's a practical way to apply this. The next time you feel stressed, ask yourself, can I directly influence this right now? If the answer is no, step back. If the answer is yes, act. It sounds small, but this single question is a mental filter. It keeps your mind uncluttered. It keeps your emotions from boiling over things that don't deserve your energy. Of course, sometimes the line between what's in your control and what's not can feel blurry. For example, you can't control how someone feels about you, but you can control whether you treat them with respect. You can't control whether your project at work succeeds, but you can control the quality of your contribution. The metaphor I hold on to is this. Your mind is a fortress. If you guard it only against real threats, it stays strong. But if you keep running to the gates every time a bird flies past, you'll wear yourself out before the real battle ever comes. One of the most freeing realizations you can have is this. You don't need to have an opinion on everything. You don't need to fix everything. You don't need to win every argument. Your energy is a currency. Spend it where it creates movement, not where it disappears into the void. I'll be honest, living like this takes constant practice. There are days when I still slip, when I still obsess over something I can't change. But the difference is, now I catch myself. And when I do, I pull my focus back to where my power actually is. And here's the magic. When you live this way, you not only feel calmer, but you also become more effective. Because all that energy you used to waste, now it's going toward actions that actually matter. So next time you feel yourself wrestling with something you can't control, remember the Stoic truth. Let go of the rope. Step back from the waves and pour your strength into what's in your hands. Because the chill and Stoic life isn't about doing nothing. It's about doing only what matters. Chapter 4. Practice negative visualization. Most people avoid thinking about bad outcomes. They say it's too negative. They want to stay in the light, to only imagine what's pleasant. But the Stoics, they did something different. They would close their eyes and imagine loss. They would picture the worst, failure, hardship, the absence of what they loved most, not to make themselves miserable, but to prepare their minds, to deepen their gratitude, to make themselves unshakable. This practice has a name, premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. It's not about pessimism, it's about resilience. Here's why it matters. When you never consider the possibility of losing something, you take it for granted. You hold it loosely, without realizing how fragile it is. And when it's gone, you're shattered. But when you've already walked through that loss in your mind, when you've seen yourself surviving it, something changes. You value what you have now deeply. And if it's ever taken away, you've already rehearsed your strength. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you kiss your child, whisper to yourself, they may not be here tomorrow." That sounds cold, but it's not. It's a reminder to love fiercely now, to hold the moment as if it were the last, because one day it will be. I've practiced this quietly in my own life. I've imagined losing the work I've built. I've imagined the death of people I love. I've imagined waking up tomorrow in a completely different world. And each time, I open my eyes with a little more gratitude, a little more presence, a little less fear. It's like standing in the sun after walking through a dark tunnel. The light feels warmer because you've remembered the cold. Here's how you can do it. Pick one thing you value deeply: your health, your home, your relationships, your freedom. Close your eyes and picture it gone. Feel the absence. Let yourself notice the ache. Then shift back to the present. Feel the weight of gratitude for still having it. See how the coffee tastes richer, how the air feels softer, how the ordinary becomes extraordinary when you remember it's not guaranteed. The key is balance. Negative visualization isn't about walking around expecting disaster at every corner. It's about short, deliberate moments of mental training that keep you grounded and thankful. Think of it like fire drills. You don't run them because you want your house to burn. You run them so, if it ever does, you know how to move. And when life throws you a real loss, and it will, you'll meet it differently. Not with total shock, but with a quiet readiness. Not with panic, but with the deep knowledge that you can endure. Epictetus reminded us, don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do happen, and your life will go smoothly. Negative visualization trains you for that. It's not about making bad things happen, it's about softening the blow when they do, and magnifying the beauty of the now. I remember once, I was stuck in traffic, late for something important. The old me would have been fuming, but that day, I practiced negative visualization. I pictured not even having a car. I pictured walking miles in the heat to get anywhere. And suddenly, sitting in traffic with music playing felt like a gift. This is the subtle magic. Life feels richer when you imagine how easily it could be poorer. The metaphor I hold on to is this: your life is like a glass of water. If you only drink without thinking, you'll one day look down and find it empty. But if you pause and imagine thirst, you'll savor every sip. And here's something I've noticed. The more I practice this, the more my fears shrink. Because most of what we fear is worse in our imagination than in reality. When you confront it willingly, it loses its grip on you. So tomorrow morning, before you start your day, pick one thing you love and imagine losing it. Not to punish yourself, but to sharpen your gratitude. Then open your eyes, look around, and live like you just got it back. Because the chill and stoic life isn't about ignoring pain. It's about rehearsing for it. So when it comes, you're not broken by it. You're strengthened by it. Chapter 5. Cultivate inner stillness daily. There's a noise in the world that never stops. Not just the literal noise, cars, voices, phones, but the noise in your mind, the endless stream of thoughts, the worries about tomorrow, the replaying of yesterday, the scrolling, the constant stimulation. And here's the thing: if you never step out of that noise, you forget what quiet feels like. You forget what it's like to actually hear your own mind without the static. The Stoics valued this stillness, not as an escape, but as a way to return to themselves. Seneca wrote, "To be everywhere is to be nowhere. When you're scattered, you're powerless. When you're still, you can see. I used to think stillness meant doing nothing, just sitting there like an empty shell, but I learned true stillness isn't the absence of action, it's the presence of attention. It's not about stopping life, it's about being fully in it. For me, it started small. 5 minutes in the morning, sitting with coffee, no phone, no music, just breathing. At first, it was uncomfortable. My mind didn't want to be this sure. It wanted to do something, but slowly, those minutes became something I craved. Stillness is like clearing a foggy window. When the glass is clouded, you can still walk forward, but you're guessing, hoping you're on the right path. When it's clear, you see where you're going. So how do you bring this into your life? 1. Guard your mornings. Before you let the world in, before the messages, the news, the noise, give yourself a moment. It could be journaling, stretching, meditating, or just sitting with your thoughts. The key is to start from a place of calm instead of chaos. 2. Take stillness breaks. During the day, pause for 60 seconds. Close your eyes, breathe. Notice where your mind is and gently bring it back. You'd be amazed how much power that 1 minute gives you back. 3. End the day in quiet. Don't go to bed with your mind still running at full speed. Dim the lights, put the phone away. Let your mind slow before your body rests. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." That means you don't have to wait for the world to give you peace. You can build it inside yourself. And here's the thing, stillness doesn't have to mean silence. It's a state you can carry anywhere. You can be still while walking through a busy street, while talking to someone, while working on a task. It's the choice to be present instead of scattered. I once practiced this in the middle of a crowded train station. People rushing, announcements blaring, footsteps echoing. I just stood there, breathing slowly, feeling my feet on the ground, letting the chaos flow around me without touching me. It was like being in the center of a hurricane, untouched. The metaphor I hold on to is this: life is a river. Most people are tossed around by the current, pulled from one thing to the next. Stillness is like standing on a rock in the middle of that river, letting the water pass but not being swept away. And here's what happens when you make stillness a daily practice. You stop overreacting, you stop chasing every thought, you stop drowning in the noise. Instead, you create space. Space to think before speaking. Space to feel without being controlled by feelings. Space to notice what actually matters, because without stillness, life is just one long reaction. With stillness, it becomes a series of chosen responses. So tomorrow, find 1 moment for inner stillness. It doesn't have to be long. Even 30 seconds counts. And with time, that stillness will stop being a break you take. It will become the ground you stand on. Because the chill and stoic life isn't about retreating from the world. It's about carrying a calm center into every part of it. Chapter 6. See challenges as training. There's a moment when life pushes you harder than you feel ready for. The job rejection, the breakup, the plan that fell apart at the very last second. Your first instinct, you want it gone. You want the discomfort to end. But here's the truth, the Stoics understood. The very moments you want to escape are often the ones shaping you the most. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Read that again. He's not just telling you to endure challenges, he's telling you to use them. I've felt this deeply. There were times I looked back and realized my greatest growth came from the moments I thought were breaking me, like a muscle under weight. You don't get stronger by avoiding resistance, you get stronger by working through it. It's like training in the gym. If you never increase the weight, you never increase your strength. If you only lift what's easy, you stay the same. Life works the same way. The Stoics didn't see challenges as curses, they saw them as teachers. Pain teaches patience. Failure teaches humility. Loss teaches value. And every obstacle forces you to grow in ways comfort never will. Here's the mental shift. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What is this training me for?" I remember one year where nothing seemed to go right. Plans collapsed. Friendships ended. I felt like I was constantly starting over. And then it hit me. This wasn't life punishing me. It was life handing me the exact conditions I needed to become stronger, calmer, more disciplined. Think about an archer training in the wind. If they only practice in perfect weather, they'll never learn to adjust. But if they can hit the target in a storm, they can hit it anywhere. When you face something difficult, remind yourself, it's just another form of training. The situation isn't your enemy, it's your sparring partner. It's here to make you sharper. Of course, this doesn't mean you have to like the challenge. You don't have to pretend it's easy, but you can still choose to engage with it in a way that serves you. You can say, "This is tough, but it's building me." Epictetus reminded his students, "Difficulties show what men are." In other words, anyone can be calm when life is calm. Your true nature is revealed when the ground shakes. Here's a practical approach. 1. Label the training. When you're in a challenge, give it a name. This is my patience training. This is my focus training. It sounds simple, but it changes the frame from victimhood to growth. 2. Track your progress. Look back and see how you've improved. Maybe you respond slower to anger than you used to. Maybe you bounce back faster from setbacks. Progress builds confidence. 3. Expect the resistance. When you know challenges are coming, they're less likely to surprise you. The soldier who trains in full armor doesn't panic when the real battle begins. I once had a project fail after months of work. The old me would have sunk into frustration for weeks. Instead, I took a day to feel the loss, then got up the next morning and began again. Not because it didn't hurt, but because I'd trained for this. The metaphor I keep is this: life is a blacksmith's forge. The heat, the hammer, the pressure, they're not there to destroy you. They're there to shape you into something stronger than you were before. And here's the reward. When you see challenges as training, you stop fearing them. You stop avoiding the hard things because you understand they're the path. So the next time life pushes you, don't just endure it. Step into it. Learn from it. Let it carve the resilience you'll need for the road ahead. Because the chill and stoic life isn't about having an easy path. It's about walking any path with the strength to keep moving forward. Chapter 7. Live by clear principles. There's a quiet power in knowing exactly what you stand for, not in a vague, I try to be a good person way, but in a clear, unshakable way, where your values are defined and they guide every choice you make. Most people drift. They make decisions based on mood, on convenience, on what others expect in the moment. And because of that, they're easily swayed. A bit of pressure here, a tempting shortcut there, and suddenly they're acting in ways they don't respect. The Stoics believed principles are your anchor. Without them, you're like a ship in open water, drifting whichever way the wind blows. With them, you can face any storm without losing your direction. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Simple, direct. And when you actually live like that, life becomes a lot less complicated. I used to think principles were restrictive, like rules that boxed you in. But I've learned they're actually freedom. Because when you know your principles, you don't waste energy debating with yourself in every situation. You already know the answer. It's like having a compass. You don't stand there staring at the trees wondering which way to go. You follow the needle. Here's what I mean by clear principles. They're not just abstract ideas like integrity or kindness. They're specific, actionable, personal. For example, I will not lie, even if the truth is uncomfortable. I will treat others with respect, even when I disagree. I will not compromise my health for short-term gain. I will take responsibility for my actions, no matter the outcome. When you live by principles like that, you remove a lot of the noise from decision-making. You don't have to calculate whether telling the truth is worth it in this case. It's simply what you do. And here's where the Stoic calm comes in. When you act in alignment with your principles, you can let go of the outcome. You've done what's right by your own definition, and that's all you control. I remember a time when I had to make a decision that would disappoint someone I cared about. The easy path was to bend my principles just a little, but I knew if I did that once, it would be easier to do it again. So I stood my ground. It wasn't comfortable, but when I looked in the mirror later, I felt peace, not pride in winning, but peace in staying true to myself. Seneca said, "A good character, when established, is not easily overthrown, and it is not easy for one to take a wrong step when he follows a sure guide." Your principles are that guide. So how do you define yours? 1. Reflect on what matters most to you. Ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to be, regardless of circumstances? Write it down. Be honest. 2. Turn values into actions. If you say you value honesty, what does that look like in daily life? If you say you value discipline, how will that shape your mornings? 3. Test them in small situations. It's easy to hold a principle in theory. It's tested in the little moments, like when telling a white lie would be easier, or when showing up on time means saying no to something fun. The metaphor I keep in mind is this. Principles are like the roots of a tree. A tree with shallow roots is blown over by a strong wind. A tree with deep roots bends, sways, but never falls. When you live without principles, every decision is a negotiation with your mood, your fears, your desires. When you live with principles, you may still feel those things, but they don't control you. And here's the most important thing. Principles don't mean you're perfect. They mean you have a standard to return to where you slip. They're not a cage. They're a path back to yourself. So take some time to write yours down. Keep them short, clear, and actionable. And when life tests you, and it will, you won't have to search for an answer in the chaos. You'll already know what to do. Because the chill and stoic life isn't about drifting with the wind. It's about knowing where you stand and standing there firmly, even when the ground shakes. Chapter 8. Accept impermanence and flow with change. Everything you have right now will change. Some things will grow, some things will fade, some will leave entirely. No matter how tightly you try to hold them, that's not meant to be depressing. It's meant to be freeing, because once you understand and truly accept that everything is temporary, you stop clinging so hard. You stop fighting change like it's the enemy, and you start moving with it, like a leaf carried gently on a stream. The Stoics knew this truth well. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "All is ephemeral, fame and the famous as well." He ruled an empire, yet he reminded himself daily that nothing lasts forever. Not power, not wealth, not even life itself. I used to resist change with everything in me. When things were good, I feared they'd end. When things were bad, I feared they'd stay forever. Either way, I was trapped in a fight against reality. But reality doesn't lose. And when I finally stopped resisting, I found peace. The seasons helped me understand. No matter how much you love the warmth of summer, autumn will come. No matter how much you enjoy the colors of autumn, winter will arrive. And then, when the cold has been with you long enough, spring will quietly return. Life is no different. The people in your life will change. Your circumstances will shift. Your body will age. And so will your dreams. The question is, will you cling to what's gone, or will you move with what's here? This doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop gripping. You can love without trying to freeze things in place. You can enjoy without demanding that the moment last forever. Lao Tzu said, "Life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes. Don't resist them. That only creates sorrow. Let reality be reality. Let things flow naturally forward in whatever way they like." When you accept impermanence, you become lighter. The loss of something still hurts, but it doesn't destroy you. The arrival of something new still excites you, but you don't cling to it in fear. Here's how you can practice this acceptance. 1. See endings as part of the cycle. When something ends, a job, a friendship, a phase of life, remind yourself, this is the natural rhythm. It's not proof that something went wrong. It's proof that life is alive. 2. Welcome change as a teacher. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What is this showing me?" Every change holds a lesson about resilience, gratitude, letting go, or starting again. 3. Let go deliberately. Sometimes the most stoic thing you can do is open your hand and allow what's trying to leave to leave. I remember when a project I loved came to an end, not because I wanted it to, but because it was time. I could have dragged it on, tried to keep it alive, but I knew it would be like holding on to a flower long after it had withered. Better to let it go and trust that the space it left would one day be filled with something new. The metaphor I hold is this: life is a river and you are standing in it. If you try to grab and hold the water, it slips through your fingers. But if you let it flow, it will carry you forward to places you could never reach by standing still. Sometimes change will be gentle. Other times it will be sudden, like a tree snapping in a storm. Either way, your calm comes from remembering it was always going to change. When you accept this, you become harder to break. You stop demanding that life meet your script. You stop being blindsided when things shift, and you start finding beauty in the impermanence itself. Because without impermanence, there would be no growth, no renewal, no reason to cherish the moment you're in. So today, look around at what you have, see it clearly, love it fully, and remember, it's here now, but it won't be forever. And that's what makes it precious. The chill and stoic life isn't about controlling time, it's about living well within it. So here you are. You've walked through these stoic strategies, pausing before you act, detaching from opinions, focusing on what you can control, preparing for loss, cultivating stillness, seeing challenges as training, living by clear principles, and flowing with change. You might be wondering, where do I start? The answer is anywhere. You don't have to master them all at once. Even one small shift, a pause before speaking, a moment of gratitude, a gentle acceptance of change, can begin to steady your mind. The Stoic life isn't about becoming unfeeling. It's not about cold detachment or pretending you're above it all. It's about being fully alive, while holding an inner center that doesn't crumble when the world shakes. Marcus Aurelius once reminded himself, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." That's your power, not to control the world, but to control how you move through it, not to demand calm conditions, but to carry calm within yourself. So as you step back into your life, remember, you don't need to fix every storm, you just need to stand in it, steady, grounded, breathing, and from that place, choose your next step. If you've found value here, I'd invite you to subscribe, because this journey toward a calmer, stronger, wiser you is one worth walking together. Take a breath, feel your feet on the ground, and walk forward with stoic calm.